Module 3 is sensation and perception. And the central image that I've chosen here is a shopping cart. And the reason for that is the whole idea of this module, which is that perception isn't something that just happens to you, it's something that your brain is actively building. The cart is that construction. Not everything's going to make it into the cart. On the right, I've got the 10 key terms listed in the grocery list. And you'll notice the first two are not ticked off. That's naive realism and selective attention. That's done on purpose. Naive realism is basically the assumption that what you're seeing is just reality. Um, this map is the argument against that. Selective attention is the reason why. It's your brain can't process everything at once, so it picks what matters to you right now. An example of that would be walking into the grocery store for milk. You find the milk, but you will miss the bag of chips that you weren't looking for. They were there, but you just didn't grab them. If you move down the list, we have top-down processing, which the grocery list represents. So you came in knowing what you need at the grocery store, and that's already shaping what you're looking for. You're not searching. That's top down. So your existing knowledge is filtering what you perceive that you've even looked for. And then that moves down to point 4, which is perceptual set, which is basically a readiness to see certain things and not others. In a store, you know well, you're not really looking around, you're just confirming what you already expect. Now, if we move down again, I've got the example up in the top left corner of the fruit store. And this is bottom-up processing, where you have simple ingredients that would be used to make something further. So you just got the raw features of the ingredients. An example of that would be tomatoes making sauce. Next, you have sensation, and that's standing in front of that fruit store. The environment factors hitting your receptors before your brain does anything with it. So you just notice the smells, the touch, the colors. If we move down to the bottom left is a piece of bread, and that represents sensory adaptation. An example of this would be walking past the bakery where the smell is obvious. However, if you hang around for 10 minutes within that bakery, you'll notice that the changes are no longer as present, and that's because your receptors have dampened because there's not a new stimulus anymore. So your brain has stopped reporting it. Moving across again, I have foul bags, 100 grams and 102 grams. And that 2 gram difference is the difference threshold. That's the smallest change you can reliably pick up. Weber's law says that the threshold isn't a fixed number, it scales with the base. So 2 grams on 100 grams you'd notice, but 2 grams on 5 kilo bag you wouldn't notice. So it's all about proportions there. And lastly, we have the scanner, which is transduction and coding. Transduction is converting physical energy, so the light off the barcode, into an electrical signal that your nervous system can actually use, where coding turns that signal into something meaningful. So pattern in and then product recognized. So top to bottom on the list, naive realism is the assumption you're just shopping. Everything else on the map is why that's not true.